Donald Trump's speech last night was long, but it was very good. And I wanted to show for you, if you didn't watch the whole thing, the best moment of the speech. So you don't have to go watch the whole thing. Then I want to show you how Americans responded to the speech. Take a look.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
I love JD Vance's face in that. And I also think the angry faces of Democrats is equally as good. That is just a great moment. All of what he said is very true, of course. We all knew from the beginning, Biden, there was this whole thing, him saying that we needed laws in order to shut down the border. We knew that was a lie. Everyone knew. We don't need new, just think about this logically. We don't need new laws in order to enforce the sovereignty of our country. In fact, none of the liberals who were saying that believe that's true for any other country except the United States. For some reason, when it comes to the United States, we need new laws in order to establish our sovereignty. It was a ridiculous notion from the start. We just need an executive branch that actually enforces the law. That is their job. In any case, that happened. In any case, I wanted to show you the approval of Americans for Trump's agenda following his speech because YouGov kind of did a poll of every bit of Trump's speech, what he talks about, and the results, I think, are really mind-boggling. So without further ado, again, this is from CBS News /YouGov. 77%, I'll put it up on the screen right now, and I'll read it for those of you who are just listening. 77% support his plan to cut government waste and spending. That is a supermajority. There's virtually no opposition. Just for some context, about 15% of the country, by polling data, is uber progressive, like AOC progressive. So you're never going to agree with those ones. So 77% is pretty dang close to 85%, which is presumably the full amount of number that Donald Trump could ever get approval for. The other 15% are non-starters. I'm going to keep going. It says 77% back his immigration and border policies. Again, for all of the talk from Democrats saying that this is so radical that, they just want to deport into evil. 77% of Americans believe it. So if you hear Democrats say that, we all just have to understand that Democrats are saying that they hate Americans and they think they're evil. 76% approve of Trump's speech. Generally, it was a fantastic speech. 76% approve of removing congressmen who interrupted his speech. If you didn't see, this is one thing that you should go check out. The whole time, Democrats are heckling Trump. And here's the deal. Some healthy heckling, I got no problems with. In fact, if you look at Canadian Parliament, if you've ever looked at Parliament in almost any country, it's rowdy. And I'm a fan of it. I'm not mad about it. But some of what they do is just frankly rude and it's random. And again, it's them attacking things. Just on a strategic level, it makes no sense. It's them heckling things that 77% of Americans believe in. So it makes zero sense. I personally think it's okay to remove them if they want. I don't really care. I kind of like the boisterousness, but they were very rude. It's almost impossible for Trump to even speak at times. 74% say his speech was presidential. He was very presidential. 73% support his stance on Russia and Ukraine. Of course, because as I talked about in my show yesterday, it's the only reasonable stance, and every American knows it. 68% say it made them feel hopeful and proud. 68% say he has a clear plan to tackle inflation. 68% say he accurately described America's crime crisis. 63% say he focused on issues they care about. Those are the numbers that really matter right there. Is at the end of the day, Americans see Donald Trump and what he's talking about, and they think, he's actually speaking to me. He's talking about issues that matter. He's not talking about the random person down the street that we need to protect and call by their pronouns because they want to feel nice. That no one cares about that at the end of the day. It doesn't affect my life. What affects my life is inflation, the war in Ukraine, immigration, illegal people coming across our border, poisoning people with fentanyl, crime going up. People actually care about that. It's very clear that they like the direction Donald Trump is going in because, again, it's not that hard. All Donald Trump has to do is just actually talk about the issues that matter to people. But for some reason, Democrats could never do that. And Donald Trump has only been doing that. I can see how, I really can see how Republicans are going to carry this through the midterms based on this polling. I don't see how Democrats can get back in this thing like they are because, again, they're going to have to abandon the craziness and meet their constituents where they are in order to succeed. You can't brainwash or try to reprogram your constituents. It's not going to work. There's too many people. That's what Democrats are trying to do. It's not going to work. I don't see Democrats being able to come into power right now without pivoting to some of the things that Donald Trump is doing. But eventually, if their approval falls low enough, I suppose they'll have to do it. And I just don't know how low it's going to be before they do it, but it will happen eventually. This tax season, you're going to want to file your taxes because you can actually make a lot of money. I've partnered with a business that hates the IRS as much as you do, so they fight to get you every dollar back possible. Quick Tax America. Quick Tax America has already gotten its average tax returner $3,000 back from the IRS, and they do all federal returns for only $69. It's a completely transparent price because it's their only price, no matter how complicated your taxes are. What's more, guys, they do all the work for you, unlike the big online services where you spend 4 hours collecting all your stuff and having to answer all these questions. With Quick Tax America, you just answer a few basic questions, upload your files, and schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with a tax professional, and they do all the rest of the work. Go check them out at quicktaxamerica.com, or you can go to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.